Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Yuki. Today I'm with
Justin,
Nathan,
and I'm gonna ask several questions. Are you guys ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna talk about ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
Which flavor do you like better? Chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, for me, vanilla.
Vanilla?
I
Vanilla.
love
What about you?
vanilla.
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Not chocolate?
No, I like vanilla.
Really?
I like
The chocolate
I like
flavoring
the
is-
very dark fudge chocolate.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So I guess chocolate, yeah.
The chocolate flavoring itself is kind of fake tasting in correlation with other types of chocolate. Like
Oh, I
real
see.
chocolate tastes
That's why I like
different than the ice cream
Uh-huh.
chocolate.
That's why I like there's dark chocolate ice cream that I like, and
Uh-huh.
because it tastes more like actual chocolate instead of just fake chocolate.
Oh, I see.
So
Because Japanese people really love vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more than chocolate, so like I was surprised when I first came to the
Yeah.
United States. Everybody was like, "Yeah, chocolate."
Yeah, it's actually most people do actually prefer chocolate here. I think it's just odd that we prefer vanilla. Most people I know prefer
Uh-huh.
chocolate.
I like
here.
chocolate though.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna ask something deeper.
Okay.
Okay, so
Big jump.
I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, and the first question is, are you happy that you're born in America? If it's so, why?
No.
It's better. It's
No?
better than than any other alternative. I would say, but yes, I would say yeah. I'm grateful that I was born here, and maybe rather than like super harsh communist countries where
Oh, I
there's
see.
not very much freedom.
I'd say, like, I think it's cool that we were born in the U.S., but it's also sort of weird to think that a lot of other countries,
Uh-huh.
they look towards going to the U.S. like the U.S. is the main,
Oh, yeah.
like it's the best,
Uh-huh.
which it's better than a lot of countries, but at the same time, I sort of wish, like, I could see how it would be like to live in, like, to grow up in a different country,
Mhm.
because I just think that it's really weird that a lot of people like America. No, I mean they do. I mean I think it's really good government wise, but I never understood why it was such the country to go to. Everyone wants to go to see California
And right now, it's our economy is slowly transitioning into something extremely industrial. Like you used to be able to come to America and live the way you want to live, and now it's becoming more like you have to have a job and you have to work every single day of the week or you can't survive.
Oh,
it's
I see.
it's transitioning into a little bit more imperialist and like a post communist state. Like we're kind of becoming to where you have to work. It's very industrial, very like not very many alternatives to working.
Because at the beginning of our country's like foundation, people could go and be whatever they want to do. They could be a farmer and agricultural. They can go and hunt. They can build their own house and stuff. But now that we have a bunch of, like, you know, it costs so much money to do anything.
Oh, I see.
So it's harder to be free.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
we're a really free country. All the citizens
think
are
so
really
too.
free compared to a lot of
Oh yeah.
Like,
a lot of different
I'm
countries.
sort of glad that I was born in America, but I was wishing I was
Uh-huh.
like born in Alaska because they're gonna take away a lot of rights
Yeah.
later in time.
Well, good thing
And
Alaska's in the U.S.
Yeah.
I know, but Alaska
Doesn't feel like it though.
And
No,
yeah, it doesn't
very
feel
far
like
away.
it.
It's a lot less strict
Yeah.
in Alaska.
But like, you know, if you're born in other countries, your language might be different, and
Mhm.
like here, like English, everybody speaks English, so
Yeah.
a lot more information is available.
Yeah, I thought that was because when I started to study a lot more of like languages, I thought that it was very interesting that people wanted English to be the universal
Yeah.
language. And it's sort of cool to see how, like, you can go to any country and there's people that know how to speak English
Yeah.
because they want to learn how to speak English, and so like, you can go anywhere and they know how to speak English, and you're like, wow, okay. I don't know. I think that's such a cool and it's like from what I know, like if I go to Mexico and I speak Spanish, people find it in whatever country, they find it so appreciative that an American goes out of their way to learn another language. Because, you know, they seem like, oh, English is, I'll just stick with English. But when you learn a different language and speak it in their country, they're so happy. They're like, oh my gosh, you know, like he really cares about our language enough to learn it.
Oh, I see. Do you think you would be a totally different person, like if you're born in other country?
Yes. Yeah.
Like in terms of,
Wait, what?
Like in your own, like how you are.
Yeah.
Not as of like appearance, but
This is one
how
of
you
the
act.
questions that.
yeah, what kind of person do you think you would be?
I think I'll be a nice person.
Nice person?
I'll
You're
be
not
super
nice right
fat.
now?
Yeah, I'll be super fat and be a
Uh-huh.
couch potato.
Well, and I think it really depends on external sources. Are you grown up into thinking certain ways through the education system? Like in the USSR, people born there would be more prone to want to join their military and think and be given all motives like power is they have a certain spectrum predetermined for them of what's good and bad. So it depends on the country, but I think it would change anyone who's born like in a different areas. Like even in America, if you're born in a certain part of America, you would grow up different. Like there's very impoverished places where you grow up very poor, and then there's other places where you grow up really rich, and that would change you if you grew up a completely different lifestyle.
We were just learning about this yesterday in my government class, and they were giving the examples of if you like live in more of a city scenario, like you live in LA or you live in Chicago or something like that. You're so accustomed to all the regulations and rules there, and you're also way more accustomed to having the government on your side, and so you think a completely different way than someone who is living out, I guess, sort of where we sort of live, or out in the countryside, where they're way used to freedoms and they're used to doing whatever they want, and then when they go to a city, they're like, ugh, I hate it because you can't do anything. But the people living in the cities are so used to it, they don't know what freedom is.
There's sort of a simple rule of thumb there, and that is if you're brought up by the government, of course they're going to seem good to you. But if you're brought up outside of their influence, then it's up to you to determine whether or not you like them.
Yeah.
And even here, people who were brought up without the influence of the government in their education see it as a very controlling and out of hand force that's eventually just going to become like any other country.
Yeah, that's really true. Because when I was in Japan, like, that's the only world that I knew, and like that's great. That's a wonderful country, and it might be the best country in the world. But when I first, like, I don't know, came to the United States, I could see the way we are totally different, and so it's interesting part.
Culture is a huge thing, and sometimes there's cultures that you will go to a different country and you'll like the culture a lot and think it's way better, but then at the same time there's also some cultures that if you go to a different country you hate it. Like, why do they do this? It's so annoying.
For Americans, I see this a lot, is that they will see any other culture and think it's weird because they're so deeply rooted in what they've been taught. And now that everyone goes to public education run by the government, it's just everyone has the same viewpoints, it seems like. And if somebody's doing something outside of that, they want to fit them to the system they were raised in. I read a book called Technological Slavery that really talked about that social aspect.
I see. Okay, the last question. So it's like, just I'm curious about it. So what's the most important thing in your life?
Oh, well, I mean, I think a lot of people's, including my answer, would probably be family and like having people around. But in terms of what I want to do, I want to be able to, not very many people have a dream like it, but to be able to live without having to be gone from my children 8 hours a day and have to work all day, every day, not see my children, and be the dad that's there at night for 3 hours, and then the next day they're gone again, and the children they aren't with their family because everyone has their own system and mode to play in society. But I want to be able to like grow and produce my own food and teach my children how, so that I'm there all day and I can be there for them all day long instead of being gone at work to make money so we could buy food. I want to escape from that, but they try and make it as hard as they can nowadays to do that.
I'm thinking one of the most important things for me right now, just because I'm younger and I want to be able to do this before I get too old, is I want to be able to like, get enough money to go travel to different places. Because, and even, I mean, I haven't gone pretty much anywhere considerably. I haven't gone overseas. I've been to Mexico a few times, but it's not like I'm not going everywhere. But just going straight to Mexico, I love going there, and like I build a lot of friendships. And so I'm thinking if I'm able to travel like to very far places or go to different countries that are very unique, very small, I'd like to see how small countries work versus big countries, because you know you don't have to have so many laws if everyone knows each other and you know who's the bad guys and who's not. In the US, you don't know who anyone is.
Yeah.
I see.
I don't know. So traveling before I
The
get
most important thing to me right now is because I'm young. I like being with my family.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. And yeah, it might be a little bit different in Japan too. Family is important, but like this is what I realized after coming to the United States. But you guys like cherish really family love and spending a lot of time with family.
Yeah.
And in Japan, it's not happening everywhere. And like being like socially successful is kind of connected to happiness level. So yeah, like the more money and like higher status, and
You're not having to grind. They call it grind. You're not having to grind super hard in order to sustain your family, like what they need, their basic necessities.
yeah.
it's like I know what you mean, because there's a sort of the same thing with like politicians. If there's like wealthy politicians and like depending on what their views are, but like people will start to like them because they start doing certain things for other people out of fame more than out of just niceness or kindness. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I really like, I don't know, I changed my like mindset, and like now what I'm really focusing on is being able to live life happily so that I can share that happiness with people around me. Yeah. All right, that's it.
It's the interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and let me talk a little bit in Japanese.
Go ahead.
はいこのチャンネルでは普段の日常とか、あとはアメリカの生活とかをシェアしてるんで、興味のある人はぜひチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。じゃあまた。
Bye.
See you. Bye. Thanks. That's it. Ended up kind of formal.
That's okay.
Yeah.